Hey there, friend. Welcome back to Daily Dose Radio here in the Bible Bistro. I'm so glad that you've joined me today, and let's open our Bibles up as we look today at Psalm 25, verses 19 and 20. Now, yesterday we talked about this, the 17th and 18th verses, and that last line in the 18th verse says, "Forgive all my sins." And so I asked the question, could it be that the sin in his heart was the problem, was the real problem? He was feeling overwhelmed. He was in straits. He was distracted. He was afflicted there in verse 18, the first part, and the A part. He's afflicted. He's in pain. And then the B part of 18 says, "Save me from all my sins." Wow. And so could that be the problem? And I suggested that yes, that could be his problem. Most likely is, isn't it? Because, a lot of times the choices that we make influence the remainder of our life. And so he recognizes the fact that sin is an issue. Okay, so today we're going to look at 19 and 20. And in 19 and 20, he kind of takes that whole sin thing and anthropomorphizes the idea. So he takes it from just when talking about sin, and then he mentions a group, and we'll talk about that after we read this passage. So 19 and 20. "Consider mine enemies, for they are many, and they hate me with a cruel hatred. O keep my soul and deliver me. Let me not be ashamed, for I put my trust in thee." Okay, so 19 and 20, you'll notice that it says there, "Consider mine enemies." Now, are these people, or is this the sin that he just mentioned in 18? I think it's his sin. Consider mine enemies. Well, they are enemies. Who are they enemies of? They're enemies of the soul. And what do they want to do? They want to tear you down. They want to ruin you and depress you and make you feel like you're far from God. And of course, that's what sin does, is that it removes us from his presence. And so perhaps the psalmist David is feeling that. He's feeling removed from the presence of the Lord. And he says, "Forgive all my sins, because all these troubles have afflicted me. Here's my sin. These are my enemies. Consider them." What are the enemies that attack you? What are those bosom sins that are most troublesome to you? Those are your enemies. And he says, they are many. I say amen to that. My enemies are many too. I'm sure yours are too. There are multitudes of them. And I find them every day. They're ever before me. And I'm sure they're ever before you. And we struggle, don't we? It's a struggle, the Christian life. And he says, they hate me with a cruel hatred. So it's not just that there are many, but they have an agenda, a cruel agenda. They hate him. And then notice 20, he says, "Oh, keep my soul." There it is. The enemies are attacking the soul. He says, "Keep my soul. Deliver me." Well, didn't he say that earlier? Yeah, in 17, he asked the Lord to deliver him. Here it is again. "Keep my soul, deliver me." All this affliction, all this trouble, all the straits and the loneliness and the isolation and the pain and everything, all of that, sin's the problem. That's the enemy. It's multiplied over and over again in my heart, and it's attacking my soul. I need deliverance. And who's the one who can deliver from that kind of an attack? Only the Lord can. "Keep my soul and deliver me. Let me not be put to shame, for I put my trust in thee." So what's he trusting? Well, he told us at the very beginning. He's trusting in the Lord. He said confidently there in verse 15 that the Lord is going to pull his feet out of the net. And so the net here, spread by the enemy of sin, is attacking the soul. And again, he cries out for deliverance. "Deliver me, that I may not be ashamed, for I've put my trust in thee. So you can almost hear a little bit of despair in his voice. You know, he's not sure that the Lord maybe is hearing the prayer. He says, you know, don't let me be ashamed. I put my trust in thee. Kind of maybe, you know, applying a little pressure there in the prayer. We don't need to do that, but it's understandable. It's a very human thing to do. And that's what the psalmist is describing for us here. It's what we see in this prayer. Let me not be ashamed. Friend, you're not going to be ashamed. If you call on the Lord, he will not let you down. He's going to hear your prayer. Call on him today. Call on him today, and call on him and ask him to deliver you from your sin. All right, well, join me tomorrow, and tomorrow we're going to look at 21 and 22 here on Daily Dose Radio.